Welcome to the Get Published podcast, sponsored by Brodie Consulting Group. To get more information about our coaching, publishing, executive ghostwriting, and podcast production services, go to getpublishedpodcast.com. Hello, I am Paul Brodie, and thank you for joining us for another episode of the Get Published podcast, where we help authors get published with a proven system that works. Today, we're being joined by Hillis Pugh, author of Awaken with Gratitude. Hillis, welcome to the show.
Hello, Paul. Thank you for having me on your show today. It's an honor to be present and to assist your listeners to any tips and information to getting published.
Excellent. Well, question number one, and that is, what is the one piece of advice that you would give to a first-time author who is currently writing their book?
So the one piece of advice that I would give to an author, especially a first-time author who is publishing their book, is to maintain the integrity of what it is you have written, meaning that sometimes if you go through the editing process and things may get changed to better suit an audience that sometimes may or may not purchase the book. And I say hold tight to your integrity, hold on to the message, because the message that came from somewhere, a source of inspiration, and that source of inspiration can help, one or many people to assist you in helping them in getting the message across.
And what do you feel is the hardest part about getting published?
The hardest part of getting published, I definitely say, would be finding the path in which you want to take, whether if you want to go commercially or if you want to be self-published. And that is, it's a lot of pros and cons to each. But if someone is looking to be commercial, definitely want to have it where you've done your homework about a particular publishing house or a particular agency. Or if you want to be self-published, make sure that you've done your homework about the route that you want to take, whether if it's, self-published digitally through iTunes or Amazon or any of the like, to really hold on to the integrity with the message that you are trying to convey to the rest of the world.
Well, let's talk about marketing. So please share a marketing strategy that you have used in your book launch that has worked well.
For me, what has worked well is getting your potential audience involved. And what do I mean by that? I am referring to putting up postings or connecting through email, asking for people to do testimonials or reviews or whatever way you feel they can assist you with your book. And that's the best way of getting people involved in the process because they feel they are a part of something. So whether if it's doing, direct messages or videos or phone calls to potential customers online and through social media, saying, hey, I want you to be a part of my book. I want you to participate in providing me a testimonial or something that way they can get an advance copy or anything that you feel that will connect to the audience in an organic but yet authentic way for them to hear your message.
And then what specific strategies did you do? How many people did you reach out to, and how was your response rate?
So I reached out in the onset of the first book. It's been a few years. So I believe it was close to 100 people that I reached out to, and my response rate was 50%. And of those 50 people who responded, they ended up, some of them the interviews ended up being put in the book. Some of the the reviews end up being on the website whether if it was on Amazon and or on my personal website. But what I really liked about this particular strategy was, especially if you're going through the self-publishing route, is that once you have those people who have committed to doing these testimonials, the reviews are based on your book, you make the work easy for them by following up and saying, hey, just want to know how things are going. And on this particular day, I am having a free download of the book. And so they will have the link to download the book and be a verified purchaser, which gives you credibility as an author. It gives them credibility as a customer. Then they can repost that same testimonial on Amazon. So it helps to rank your book and also gives value to the person who did the testimonial. So it's a win-win for everybody.
Well, speaking of books, I'd like to know what is your favorite book and what was the number one thing that you learned from it?
Oh, well, that's a trick question, Paul. When you're an author, you read so many books and, you get offers to read books from other people. However, in the onset of my journey there, I have to cite two because these books were very important to me in the process of where I'm at as both a person and as an author. One book series, which is Conversations with God by Neil Donald Walsh, and a book that I highly recommend to anyone who's on their spiritual path is Spiritual Liberation by Dr. Michael Beckwith. And the reason why I recommend at least those books and how it changed me is to allow me to see myself from a different perspective, meaning that I could see the transformations within myself and really looking deep within myself and taking ownership and responsibility for who I am, what I'm doing, and how things are coming across and how things are showing up in my life by just taking ownership of the emotional, mental, and physical space that I embodied.
And for a final question, what is your favorite quote and why?
So my favorite quote is actually one that I live by D. Chardin, which states that we are not human beings having a spiritual experience. We are spiritual beings having a human experience. And I go back to this quote every so often just to have a check-in moment with myself. This quote really embodies the space that I am on my spiritual path as a person, as an author, as a teacher, as a speaker, is how am I coming across? Am I embodying the spirituality of what I teach, what I speak, what I write? And is this message being heard clearly when I write, when I speak, and when I teach? So just really it allows me to say, okay, am I this human connected to people in a way that is authentic to me and that they can genuinely hear what it is that I am connecting to and with. And so it really is that check-in. It's like, am I this person or am I this person?
Well, Hillis, I want to thank you for being a guest on the show today. What is the best way for people to find you online?
The best way for people to find me online is direct to my website, hillispugh.com, and that is HILLISPUGH.com. There they can find information about upcoming seminars, events, services, as well as my book and other items as well.
Well, Hillis, thank you once again for being on the show, and I wish you all the best in your author journey ahead.
Thank you so much, Paul. It has been a pleasure to be on your show and to give highlights of information to your audience.
Thanks again for joining us today. To learn more about how you can be featured in our brand new Get Published business book, go to getpublishedpodcast.com.